You're tuned into Les Elegance Radio. The number one LGBTQ radio station online with Les Entourage.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the premiere of Interviews with Ghetto Girl Blue. And tonight, Ghetto Girl Blue will be discussing... sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. She'll be discussing... I'm sorry. I'm tired. I've been working all day, so forgive me. She's talking about weave addiction, healthy, natural hair care, and the ban of skin bleaching in African nations. Finally, a licensed massage therapist, the showstopper, will be joining us on air to discuss the sensitivity of the hair, head, and scalp. So we have a great show lined up for you, and we will be here every Monday night, forthcoming, 9 p.m. But before we get into the show and before I turn the mic over to Ghetto Girl Blue, I will also like to make a quick announcement. If you missed the show Saturday, Secret of the Pearl, for women who love women, oh my God, it was amazing. Everyone came out. It was beautiful. So it was some people first time there, and they were so excited and enjoyed themselves so much that they decided to come back to the show February 16th. Yeah, February 16th, Vertical Joe's, downtown Atlanta. Again, Vertical Joe's, downtown Atlanta, February 16th, the Punani Poets. Okay. Also, the Punani Poets will be in Dallas on February 9th, Chicago, February 12th, Virginia Beach, February 13th, Richmond, Virginia, February 14th, Atlanta, February 16th, and New York, February 22nd and 23rd. But I'll let Ghetto Girl Blue also give maybe a little bit more details about that later on in the show. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead on and get ready and turn this over to Ghetto Girl Blue. Coming at you live with interviews. Hello, Ghetto Girl Blue. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, Dr. I did. I had so much fun at Secret of the Pearl. It was, it had moments of little magic in there, huh?
Yeah, I love the kissing competition. That's like the best part of the show to me.
I had fun doing my love confession.
Yeah.
So everybody, hi, this is Jessica Halter. This is the first time I'm really doing a radio show. So I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I am in Dawn's great, capable hands here. And I don't know, I'm a poet mostly, with a lot of ideas and thoughts and things that press upon me. And I know everybody's not really into poetry, so I thought I would do a show on Monday nights here. Monday is usually my chill night, where I let all my energy and ideas flow through my mind and through my ink pen. So this is a great night of creativity for me, and I thought this would be a good chance to be a little transparent. I think we're going to be going live on Facebook here in a minute too. But for those of you who don't know me, I am founder of the Punani Poets. For the Punani Poets, a lot of different things come up for us because I work mostly with women and couples. And so issues of self-esteem come up very often, issues of finding the confidence it takes to get what you want in a relationship comes up. And of course, there are always sex questions and things like that. So tonight, I thought I would discuss weave addiction versus just fashion. And we'll be also talking about something new, kind of new. At least it's new to me. And several African nations have banned skin bleaching for more reasons than one, I imagine. Skin bleach has cancer-causing agents in it. But also, there's the issue of self-esteem around skin bleaching. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit. Talk about natural hair care. A lot of people ask me about my hair, what I do. People who know that I raised a young girl who's almost 16, chocolate girl, far as we know, full-blooded African-American girl. And she has hair longer than mine, all the way down her back. And I wanted to talk to you about how I was able to help her learn how to be comfortable with her hair. She's still learning, but and to be confident that she can wear it long, natural, straight, blow-dried, curly, however she wants, and keep it healthy, without destroying it. So I want to talk about that a little bit. And then I want to slide into a conversation with Siren. Siren Showstopper is my choreographer, stage director, and she also is a licensed massage therapist. So she'll be joining us tonight towards the end of our conversation to talk about the scalp, the importance of letting sunlight on your scalp, the importance of allowing your scalp to be exposed so that people can stimulate it. And I'm excited to have her on board. I'm going to call her in just a few minutes so she can join in a little bit early. She's also a natural girl. She wears her hair natural. And so she knows some things about how to care for natural hair as well. So, yeah, those are the things we're going to be talking about. But like I said, I'm a poet. So I want to start the evening with, I'm going to be 50 this year. So I'm really excited about that. And all around the house, I've been saying, yeah, I'm playing my old lady's card. And so this allows me to say things that maybe I couldn't say at 30. Like, I feel like I'm in a position, having learned the things that I learned in life and having been raised by a really old lady from Texas. I think I have some memories that a lot of you are too young to even know about, experiences that a lot of people don't have, especially young people, because I grew up in Oakland during the Black Panther movement. And so I remember what it was like to hear Black pride in the air, in the music, in the people, and to see it on our afros and in our raised fists. And I just grew up with a different perspective of what it meant to be Black, a definite sense of pride and confidence. So for those of you who do not know, I started the Punani Project primarily out of what I thought was a necessity to get us to kind of get a better understanding of what hip-hop was doing to women, how it was changing our concept of what was sexy. And so I remember a time before rap videos. I remember a time where, men seduced you with awesome words, damn near poetry that they call rapping. They'd say, let me rap to you. And they would have to come up with these cool lines and all of that just to get our attention. And nowadays, we are treated so poorly, and we allow ourselves to be subject to such just unimaginable behaviors. And I sound a little sad right now because right before Dawn got here, she pointed out a video that kind of just really got my mind twisted. A girl got raped.
Yeah.
On Facebook Live, and there were people all around. She was asking for help. Some people filmed it, like it was really bad. We'll talk about that probably next week in more detail after I've processed it a little bit and have some idea of what I really want to say about that. But tonight, just starting from that point, I think it's imperative that we start getting an understanding of what image we want to project into the world, how we want the world to receive us. I was reading recently online some different articles on ethnic bias and how the world has pretty much been programmed to believe certain things when it comes to like certain groups being labeled as smart, certain groups being labeled as talented, certain groups being labeled as superior, certain features about different groups being labeled in different ways. And I fear that we don't see black hair as beautiful, at least not enough. I think if we start early learning our hair, learning to appreciate our hair instead of being horrified that we have to comb it and then immediately start putting perms and pressing it and hiding it under wigs and stuff like that. Like, people start that very, very early. There are 2-year-olds getting perms in their hair, putting chemicals in it and stuff like that. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about that tonight. So we're about to get going on live, and in a minute I'm going to call Miss Siren. And I think my friend Ami, who's also a massage therapist, might be calling in. I'm going to try to get her on the line. If you're listening, Ami, I'm going to be calling you too. But yeah, I'd like to start tonight with a poem. It's called Ladies' Room. Towels for tips. It was a modest existence, but entertaining to say the very least. Club life releases the beast. Carnality. The ladies' room was more like a lion's den, a cage for malevolence, cattiness, to masquerade itself in heavy perfume, designer costume, flawless coif, intricately designed claws that could effortlessly remove prowling, jealous eyes from their sockets. Stealing confidence from competitors like pickpockets, they came here to stand in my mirror, pretending to powder their noses, out-tipping, striking poses, eliminating opposition, loudly divulging secrets across stalls. I sold lip gloss, weed, roses, tampons, mints, gum, and condoms and lockets, clocking ducats and buckets, pretending not to really be there and not to care, but cleaning the floor as the least of them fell onto it. Covetous greed. Painfully desirous competition to win the affinity of the lionized male who hunts for felines who dare to go toe-to-toe to win a night of sublime good times. Catfights are bloody, creating wounds that cut deep into the soul where the heart pumps worthiness, a measurable source of a temporary life that is defeated by the union of Mother Nature and Father Time, whose hands are mighty, not to be placated by vanity. They followed her into my office, a pride of lions, boasting, primping, praying, eliminating. She could have been any one of them, frolicking about this diamond-studded jungle where the meek die in the dust. She was just a cub, nervous, a little girl in the ladies' room of a club, unprepared for this warfare that was but a primal circus of lust. I found her sobbing and vomiting in the toilet, squatting before it in the stall reserved for the handicapped. She couldn't understand how I knew that she was pregnant, but confessed it through tears of regret. I put the out-of-order sign on the ladies' room door, consoled her in discourse, preparing her for this course, a testament, I said, to the wonderment of motherhood, a gift for which catty pussy holds no merit. Wiping her tears away, convincing her that she could bear it, I picked her up off of the floor and sent her home to prepare for her war. It was a modest existence, towels for tips. But every once in a while, I gave them more.
That was beautiful.
Thank
that was
you.
Nice. That was nice.
See, I'm trying to position myself as like a community counselor of sorts, because I really want to have these conversations, and I want to have these conversations without people getting, upset and sensitive about, our perspective or my perspective on self-esteem and what that looks like. Yeah. So how do we get Siren on the line here?
All you gotta do is just dial her number.
Just dial her number?
Yeah.
All right, Lady Siren, I'm about to call.
You dial her number, and we're gonna put this piece right here in there, and you could get online first. Get online first.
Get her online first?
Yeah.
See, you guys, I'm learning how to do the radio.
Yeah, make sure she online first.
Hello?
Is she online? Is that her?
Hi,
all right,
Siren.
put that in the top, and she should be right on.
I am good. Oh, we were just saying what a wonderful...
Hello? Siren? Okay, can you hear us now? Siren? Okay, your phone not doing nothing. Okay, Siren?
It's not doing anything?
Okay, hold on a second. I think I may have to call her from
Was it the volume?
Nah, let me see. Yeah, it is. Hold on, my beautiful people. Let me see about getting her on here. Okay, let me try to bring her back in here now. Should have hello, Siren? Oh, she still can't hear us. Siren. Okay, let me try it from my phone. Okay, we are going to try this from my phone because it's not working on her phone. Probably should have tested that phone line out completely before.
Hey, Siren, we're having some technical difficulties.
We sure
We're going
are.
to call you right
I'm going to see if
back.
I can call
Beautiful.
her, get her on from my phone. Because I think this cord, I'm Android and she over here, she team iPhone. So, and I think this cord, I'm almost positive that my cord may just work for iPhones, but I'm going to see here in a minute. But while we doing it.
So in the meantime, while she's trying to get her straight, I'm just going to go in. All right. There are some things that should be bothering us all. There are some things that, boy, it's coming so quick that I feel like we didn't have enough time to prepare for things to change so abruptly. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about the way that the world is looking at African Americans treating Black people or people of color who live in the United States, I want to say, just in general. And I understand that white folks are running scared because their numbers are starting to drop here. And it should make us all very concerned. We should be very mindful about everything that we see, everything that we hear. Do not easily discount what you might at first consider the words of a paranoid person. My mother used to say, now she was manic depressive, but she used to say, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me. And I say that to say, like, we've been so distracted, so brainwashed by all these ideas that they put out there that we often don't see the real truth. We're not even looking for the truth. We can't identify the truth when we see it. We're very comfortable with living the illusion. So what does the illusion look like? For us, for women, what does the illusion look like? How does it even begin? And I feel like, it begins when we're very small, when they first start telling us about waiting for our Prince Charming or giving us baby dolls. They start to program you to believe that you have a certain role in society, and they start preparing you for that. And in the preparation of that role, it is not a role that is created to benefit the woman, but more so a role that is created to benefit the man. So they keep you on your toes your whole life from the time you're really young until you're old enough to know better with crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. High heels, wigs, bleaching cream, bras, all this stuff that we wear. And we tell ourselves, oh, I'm doing this to make myself feel better. You know, we tell ourselves, I'm doing this to make myself feel better. Well, we know the truth. You're doing this to be more attractive to the opposite sex. You're doing this to be more attractive than maybe your peers, so that you can stay on top of the competition. Oh, is Siren on?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, I can hear you now. How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
I'm
You don't
good.
have us on speaker, do you?
Do you
Let's
have
see.
us on speaker, son?
I did at that one moment. I have it off now.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
better.
yes.
Yeah, if you on speaker, it
All
kinda
right.
it was blasting in our ear.
So, yeah,
Oh, okay.
I started going in without you there for a second. I was just saying how from the time girls are really young, they start to program us to care like in excessive amounts about how we look. And,
Right.
and they start to prepare us for what they believe is our purpose by giving us baby dolls and Barbie and Ken and all this stuff. And I'm looking at how it's manifested itself in us now. What has become our real our sense of values, like, and yeah. And what that looks like, what it looked like then and what it looks like today. Because today, there are so many women walking around looking like drag queens. It is unbelievable. Like, you can't even see their face. Like, your husband could not identify you. Some women wear full face makeup and wigs and all this stuff all the time, completely forgetting about the natural woman underneath. And I know that probably doesn't bother, a lot of people, but I just want to talk about that tonight because I feel like it's representative of a bigger problem.
Right.
And
let me interject 1 second.
Mhm.
While y'all talking,
Absolutely.
I do want y'all to consider that men also wear weave now. So
Oh,
don't forget
and
about the
very
weave.
true.
While y'all, when y'all talking about it's not just women, it is also, I seen a man that was literally like bald in the middle, like, I don't know if y'all remember Bozo the Clown. Mm-hmm. And he cut it short, and by the time he walked out that shop, he had complete 360s faded. I mean, you would never know he was bald up under them 360s. So,
Oh, yeah. I've seen that too. It's very popular now for men that have hair issues to, instead of doing the simple thing like hair massaging and stimulation of one's scalp, that can actually help your hair know that it's time to grow. Like, if you abandon yourself, your body won't do the things that it naturally needs to do. So hair massaging and just self-love pretty much is very, very important to do. And the reason being is because once you are touched in some shape or form, that energy transfers and it allows yourself to know that it's time to grow. If you're not stimulating your scalp, if you're not even to the point, even when you're having sex, if you're not having sex and your partner's not caressing your scalp, rubbing your face, looking you in your eyes, you might as well just not have sex.
I was in an Uber the other day, and the driver and I were talking about that. She was like, yeah, I do not like my head touched, even if I'm having sex or whatever. Like, I don't like people to touch my hair. And we were talking about that intimacy being affected by the fact that you have this on your head and you don't want anybody to touch it. Like, can we starve ourselves of a certain amount of affection by not allowing, actually having no man zones on our body? Like, you can't touch me here, you can't touch me there. Like, how does that affect us?
It actually does affect you emotionally. It also affects your body spiritually, and even your nerve endings are very much affected. See, people think that when you say if someone touches you under your armpit or your belly or your feet. You think that you're ticklish, but there's no such thing as being ticklish. Those parts of your body that are having those radiated sensations is because those nerve endings have never been touched or they're not touched enough. So you'll think your body is ticklish, but your body is running from it. It's like a defense mechanism, which is not okay. Like, touch is very important.
So, Nikki Morgan has we put a video up on Punani TV of speak that Nikki Morgan gave, and she was talking about pleasure capacity.
Right.
So is it that a lot of women have just put that block up and just said, this is something I just won't allow?
A lot of times it is, even with women and men. When you don't want someone to touch you under your armpit, it's because you think you have sweaty armpits. If you don't want to touch your feet, you think you don't have beautiful, attractive feet. So when it comes to even with the hair, a lot of people are ashamed that their hair may be too coarse, or it's too curly, or it's not long and straight. Whatever the case may be, something has happened to them at a young age where it causes them to think that that's not something that should be touched. And because of that confidence, even just being able to memorize things, to sleep good, migraines, headaches, orgasms, all those things they're being punished because you're not allowing yourself to be touched in those areas.
So really you are seriously creating intimacy blocks.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Can we talk about some of the things? Well, first, let's go back just a little bit. From my experience, and I deal with women, so I'm looking at this from the perspective of a woman I would date. Like, if I've never dated a woman who really wore weaves like that, mostly because I feel like something's up with your self-esteem. Like, why are you not letting me touch your hair? Why are you not letting me see it? Why, and I did hair for many, many years, and I also know that it's not always sanitary. It's not really a sanitary situation going on under there because people wear their weave for like a really long time. Just having a lot of hair like I do, I don't get enough sunlight on my scalp, and I get dandruff. Having done hair for as long as I did, and I mean, I was like the braid queen of Oakland. Like everybody know, I did hair from the time I was real young. And at one point, I had started with me and DJ Blackman had started like a braids up and down. Like we would put them up and we would take them down for you. So one time we had a lady call us and ask us to come and take her hair down. It was a very foul experience. Like, I wished we had face masks. It smelled horrible. Like, it smelled horrible. And I think a lot of people think just because you get braids, you're not supposed to wash your hair, first of all. Or just because you...
No, you're right. You're supposed, even if you have braids, if you have even a sew-in weave, if you even have a lace front wig, or for the men that have their hair pieces, even if you have locks, you are supposed to nurture your roots. You have to. Like, it's very important. Like, when people dream of having that long, beautiful, thick, shiny hair massaging should be a part of your ritual, period. And if you want to go to a sensual side of elevation in your sex life, having your partner stimulate your scalp by palming the ball of your head, which is the tip, which is known as the DU20, is a small abbreviation. It's the center point of your head. Like in babies, newborns, it's a sensitive scalp area. But for us as adults, it's still a sensitive scalp area. Applying a finger point pressure there, pulling and then releasing and pulling the hair in that area causes a radiation to your body of pleasure that causes an orgasm.
Oh, is this
but no one knows
about
that.
The top? At the
yes.
Top? Like the crown?
The top part. So right on the crown of your head, if you were to walk your finger from your nose and trace your finger up your nose through your eyelids, all the way to the center of the top of your head, which is your crown. Mm-hmm. That area there, I don't want you to do it right now because we're on live radio. I don't know how far we can go.
Yeah, but we can speak freely, I think. Can we? Yeah, we can speak
freely.
Yes,
you could actually so you would trace that lining to the center through your eyebrows and get to the middle of your crown. And if you just gently apply pressure on that area, and then with your other fingers grab the root of your hair and pull up, you'll feel a light tingling sensation that spreads throughout your entire face, down past your ears to your lower back, down to your spine, all the way down to your glute. Like, you really will feel it.
Really?
Now, and that's like a constant pull, a long pull from the root. You're not trying to pull your hair out, of course.
Right.
But things like that, and that's very, if you tried it right now as I described it, you would feel that cooling and calming sensation.
You know what? I love to have my hair pulled. I mean, this is kind of like a sidebar, but I love to have my hair pulled.
And that's why your hair is long. I know we're on radio, so if people haven't seen how long sure they have, but your hair has grown tremendously long because obviously whether it's you pulling your hair or others pulling your hair or but yeah, and then it's and you only need to do that for 5 minutes a day and just watch how your hair will look and your hair will feel. You don't need to put oil in your hair every time, just gentle fingertips and watch how the magic works.
Wow. So how long have you been natural? You've always just worn your natural hair?
Actually, I used to go back. I'm more so natural, but being in the entertainment business and things of that nature, if I'm cast for something, they're looking for me to have a certain look with either longer hair or straight, so without damaging my hair, because I love my hair. My hair is naturally curly. I would incorporate a wig or a weave, but I also give myself, I'm very particular on who touches my hair because they have to be spiritual as well. But I also make sure, even with those sew-ins that I may wear every 3 months, I would make sure that I massage my scalp. Even though my hair is braided, I would wash my hair because you still need to take care of your hair, even if it's, being, braided down. But most people don't do that. I mean, they take the wigs off and they look totally different, and then they don't have any edges. It's not supposed to destroy your hair. That's not the purpose. But you have to just take care of it. Simple scalp circulations, bringing oxygen to your hair is very simple, and it promotes stronger growing hair. Circulations with the palm of your hands, massaging your scalp. Things very simple that we can do at home, watching TV, while you and your partner are watching a movie. Massages of your scalp. It's very doable. You only need 5 minutes. And some of us, sex is over in 5 minutes. So what's 5 minutes to add more? Start off with a sexy, relaxing scalp massage, and then go into pleasuring your partner. Mm-hmm. It definitely will set the mood if you're not in the mood.
I had some other questions. So mostly when you've worn them before, did you have good experiences? Did you do it temporarily? Have you ever worn them for a long period of time and experienced any side effects?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I actually have wore a sewn-in weave for about 6 months straight. And I thought I was doing myself a favor, and this was before I had my knowledge about, hair scalping and giving your oxygen to your scalp and just taking better care of yourself. I actually left it in for 6 months, and my hair started to, literally, if I wanted to grow one big lock, I could have. It was that bad. And then my hair had this ridiculous smell, of spoiled
oh man, I don't want to
life. It was bad. It was so bad that it was embarrassing when they took it out my head. You could walk by and smell it smelled like, spoiled milk and some McDonald's French fries. I think
it's fungus. I think it must be some type of fungus. I didn't take the time to look up what that smell was, but I know exactly what you're talking about because I did hair for so long. And you know how because now I wear my hair, my natural hair, but I don't like to comb my hair. And sometimes I wear my hair like I have it now in a ponytail, and I wear it too long, and I'll put it up while it's still wet.
Right.
It'll get a little fungus type of...
well, yeah, because you're naturally supposed to wash your hair. Even if you don't wash your hair every week or you wash it every 3 days, at least 2 or 3 times a month because you don't want to take out our natural oils in our hair. Everyone's hair is different. Different races have different moistures in their hair. So women of color, and particularly, our hair has natural oils that we don't want to get rid of for multiple reasons. So washing your hair maybe once or twice a month is absolutely fine. But it's the taking care of your hair. Like my great-grandmother and grandmother always used to do the simple things like comb out their hair and brush it down and braid it down and put a little scarf around it. And their hair was so healthy and beautiful for years. But your hair needs that type of attention. Mm-hmm. So like we both have curly hair. And sometimes I don't comb I just literally put my hair up in a ponytail, put some water on it, and just go.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about wearing natural hair, though, because I don't feel like I always have to comb it. Like, it's like...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Right? It's like I feel a lot of people say they'll wear a wig because it's easier, but I don't see where it is because you still have to style that weave. You still have to...
But see, that's the thing. Not everybody... Curly. And you're right. Right. But not everybody's... And that's the thing. It's crazy. We have our own beautiful hair that we could get some curlers and curl and do all that, but we rather just go and buy someone else's hair or whatever the hair come from and style it. We people take care of weaves more than they take care of their own hair.
That's what I'm saying. And that seems like backwards. And why would you do that? And which takes me to the next point, which is spiritually. And I'm not a guru. I'm not a witch like some people think I am or whatever, but I do have a strong sense of energy, and I know how powerful energy is. I know that if somebody walks into the room with a funky attitude, it can ruin your day. That's how powerful energy is. You can work magic with just energy as well, because we did a whole tour with Nikki Morgan and saw orgasms come out of thin air and all type of stuff. So my thing is, how healthy is it for our spirit to put someone else's DNA on our head?
Right. Well, a stylist that is actually really in tune with what you're just asked about, energy and all those things, an actual true stylist will not do hair without gloves on. I'm not trying now. There are some stylists that may be listening like, I've never used gloves a day in my life. Well, that's because they're not stylists that grows hair, like those that do locks or that just have a gift of naturally growing hair. They'll use gloves at some point when they're doing your scalp massage. When they're doing your hair curling and cutting it, no. But when they're doing your hair washing and scalp massaging, they actually wear gloves because energy is very important, and your crown is one of your most dominant place to hold a lot of your energy, which is the top of your scalp. And it is very important because I mentioned earlier that you have to really know who's doing your hair. Not everyone can touch your hair.
I understand about that, but what I'm talking about is like when you get the weaves, that's assumably human hair. So this means this hair has grown on somebody else's head. This hair has experienced this other person's life. Is that really like cool? Like, I don't know. It just seems a little primitive. I don't know. And I also don't really think people are always growing the hair. I really think they get it from graves and stuff.
Well, you do have to be very wise of that because that's a whole different dimension of thinking about that's spiritual because a lot of times you never know where that hair is coming from.
That's what I'm saying.
So you really don't know. So, and you're sewing it into your scalp. And then sometimes, if you notice, sometimes the hair may take well to others' hair and help grow their hair. And some people have actually lost their hair.
That's
putting in a weave. So and that could be because that person could have been, especially when it's coming from Indian hair, could have been cursed. The hair might have been taken from them, not voluntarily given.
Oh yeah, they do that. They go and
they take the hair from the women
in your sleep. Yep. They'll
right,
cut and
then sell it.
Somebody and sell it, and they sell it by the kilo, like you sell Coke, like it's a drug, like it's a serious.
Yeah, it's a lot of women that are being harmed in those countries, India, Cambodia, Meru, all those places where those hair coming. I mean, hair is beautiful, but some of those women are not giving it up by choice because spiritually, the longer your hair is, the stronger you are. The healthier your hair is, the stronger you are, the wiser you are. not to be spiritual and talk about the Bible because I have my own opinion about that, but there was a story in the Bible as well that talked about how a man had strength. And when he had strength, they put a woman on him and asked the woman to get how did he get his powers? And she finally got it out of him. He said, it's all in my hair. And when he was asleep, they cut his hair and he was weakened.
Yep. And he lost the war.
Right.
Yep. That was Samson.
And that's just how it is with us. And in this day and age, they damaging us, saying that, our hair is not beautiful. It should be long and straight. We should have this and that. But we wasn't supposed to be the same. We are supposed to be different, obviously, to stand out. Right. Some of these women, they all look alike to me.
Yeah. I was talking to another poet, Rewap works with us.
Right.
And she was saying that, in her opinion, she wears her hair natural in dreads. And she was saying that as far as she could see, it looked like the standard of beauty had been set by men, drag queens.
Yeah.
Who kind of, and it's all of a sudden women started to aspire to have that look. It's almost like not human. Like, of course, humans don't look like that all the time. But yet we walk around with all this stuff on, and we expect people to take us seriously and believe that we're honest. And every single blog I've read where men are discussing women and why they take any type of issue with them, the number one thing that comes up is that men think women are fake, liars.
Right.
Right? And I think that has a lot to do with how we look. Chris Rock has a special where he says, you ain't that tall. That ain't your hair. You didn't grow that or whatever. And we think that's not a big deal, but really it is a big deal because this is a world in which we need to be taken very, very seriously, especially right now. You want people to be able to believe you when you're saying something, and you want to speak truth. Right. But they're looking at you thinking, just like that R. Kelly thing. There was a guy. Who was the guy? He was a juror.
Yeah. The one guy said that he didn't take the young lady, a couple of them serious because of the way they were dressed. Their attire invited him, or would invite any other man that was into young girls by the way they was dressed. So he didn't believe what they were saying.
And he's one of the jurors that dismissed that original case. And it's easy for us to say women should be able to wear what they want and do what they want and be whatever they want to be. It's easy for us to say that. Only we have to share this world with people who do not necessarily agree and people who are predators of women. We are literally walking around with a vagina with one of the world's most sought after possessions.
Absolutely.
And we have to be able to arm ourselves and protect ourselves and be wise as to what other people are thinking, mostly because we have to deal with them. You see, it would be different if we were just here by ourselves, just competing like a fashion show, but that's not it. People make snap judgments, and we have to live with that.
Absolutely.
Recently, I just pulled this thing up for you to see, Don. I was hoping you would read it because, my eyes are bad.
Hold on, I'm about to answer a question on here. I'm sorry, I had to adjust the sound because the people that was on live couldn't hear y'all. They could hear you, but they couldn't really hear Siren because I forgot.
It's all fixed now.
Yeah,
Can y'all hear us now?
Somebody said they could hear us now. But
so in a minute, we'll have Siren break down that information again about the scalp and hair growth and massage and all that. We'll go back into that in a minute. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the other part, because the bigger conversation that we're having right now is really about ethnic bias, which is, ethnic bias is when you think something that another group has may be better than yours or worse than yours or something like that, and you just make a sweeping generalization over that whole group. So I can understand why African American or why Black people would think that wearing hair that is straight, that looks like white people's hair, is going to make us more acceptable in some way. But to a certain eye, it looks like paranoid schizophrenia, because that shit is fucking weird when you really think about it. And we have to be real mindful of how we come across. And I'm not talking about just wearing it for fashion. I'm talking about when you live your life in it, and you are afraid to show your own hair, and you're scared to comb your own hair, and you're intimidated by what God gave you, what comes natural to you. That is a problem. That is a mental problem. That is a problem that needs to be addressed without people getting sensitive. If there wasn't a problem with it, you wouldn't be sensitive about it.
Right.
Right.
Now, is there some people that may need to wear the hair because, like, they may have disease, some skin disease or hair growing disease
like
that does exist,
alopecia or something like that? I'm not saying that ban it or anything like that. What I'm saying is, it's the difference between having an occasional drink and staying on full every day.
Right. Oh, yeah. Big difference.
If everybody know, if you got to be drunk every single day, you got some mental problems or some spiritual problems that you're trying to medicate.
Right.
I feel like the way we handle weaves and other things, but I'm picking on weaves. I don't mean to just pick on weaves, but that's a really big one, because not only are we subscribing to this idea that our hair is not beautiful, but we're not even well invested in the weave business. You making other people rich with your own hair insecurity. It's weird.
Yeah. No, because no one thinks of it in that aspect, which is very, very true.
Yeah,
like,
it's
they'll
like
rather go buy
they're
it
preying
from
on you. They're
another race versus going right there to someone that's trying to start the same business and selling hair. If that's what they want to do.
Right. I'm just saying, and hair and fashion and makeup is all great. But when you live your life in it, disguising the true self, there are some women who, if they took their makeup and hair off, their husbands would barely recognize them. Couldn't identify them if they died without all that stuff on. You know what I'm saying? That is not healthy. That cannot be healthy. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but man, fuck that.
And it's not really, if you're not doing it properly, it's not really healthy for you. Like, every part of our body needs stimulation. It just does.
Yes.
If people are having migraines, nightmares, can't remember things, when they're having sex, they're not feeling very connected with their partner. All those things start from the scalp, and it ends with the feet. It's all one connected energy, which is very important. So you can't ignore it. Even if you're going to wear the weaves, please still find a way to get your fingers in between those braids and massage your scalp. Like earlier in the show, we just went through a simple demonstration where you can stimulate self-stimulation just all by touching your scalp a certain way. And your hair can grow. Don't let people tell you, oh, your hair can't grow or you have to wear a weave to do this. It's not like that anymore.
Right.
But we have to understand that and still have self-love at the end of the day.
Self-love is everything. This whole conversation is really about self-love. I hope the listeners are really understanding that this is an issue of self-love. Speaking of self-love, I am so excited to share with some people who don't know about this already that there are some countries in Africa who have banned skin bleaching.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
finally.
reading this, but I don't know.
What you mean you don't know?
I don't know. Like, it's no big deal to me. How many people you think in America is really bleaching their skin?
Well, in Africa, it's becoming a larger problem. It's being endorsed by African American people over here. Matter of fact, what's her name? One of those.
Sorry, what you doing? Drinking water, eating over there?
We can hear you eating. What you eating?
Talking about all this stuff. Well, when I get excited and indulged, I actually like to eat. So I just rubbed my scalp and got hungry. I'm sorry, everybody. This is real life. If you don't have an appetite, massage your scalp.
Like,
you
what's
will
she
get
over there
hungry.
eating?
Oh, that's
'Cause
good
all
to
we
know.
hear is woo, 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 woo. I heard you. I'm like, what is she eating?
So,
You caught me red-handed. I'll wait.
well, for it's one of the biggest businesses in Africa, Dontrella. It makes millions and millions of dollars. Some of the most famous African women there, models, people like that, have skin bleaching lines.
Would I be an ass if I said I don't care about women bleaching their skin in Africa?
Well, I think
it just all goes. I think what Jessica's saying, it just all goes back to just self-love, and in one of the most
self-esteem and
dominating
self-love.
places in the world where everyone wants to go back to the motherland and everyone wants to be so empowered by the African blood, and everyone wants to celebrate Kwanzaa now, not represent Christmas now that we're learning the truth about everything, but then they still have their own issues, just like in America. I think that's where it doesn't make any sense to me either. Like, you guys have beautiful skin, melanin in your skin. The more you bleach your skin, the more you break down the melanin in your skin and open yourself up to all these skin viruses and cancers, just like with the hair.
Mm-hmm.
The more we do stuff to our hair without taking that 5 minutes to just love yourself, damages your own natural hair.
But then, you have a lot of women out here, because I was just having this conversation a couple of days ago with somebody. I'm not going to mention the name, but a lot of women wear the weave because they think it's more acceptable than going natural. And people assume, like, if a woman goes natural, she should cut her hair, she got to be gay, a stud. And I think a lot of women shy away from it for that purpose. They want to be accepted by society, because the person that I was having that conversation with, she just, someone that we mutually know decided to go natural, and she had been wearing the weave for the last couple of years that I've been knowing her, and I had never seen her without weave. So she decided to go natural, and she cut it, and she had the little sponge and everything on the side, cute. And she's a heterosexual cis female, but the other individual, offended her because when she came and she had the natural hair, the first thing out her mouth was like, "Oh, girl, you came out the closet, woo," like that. And she was like, "Came out the closet," and she was like, "Yeah, oh wow, what a statement, what a statement." And we looking like, I was like, because she went natural,
she needs to
that
change
makes
her
her
friend.
Gay.
Well,
Yeah,
Right.
okay,
She
to
needs to
be
change
fair,
her friend.
hair is
That's
like
the
cutting
ignorance.
a fade,
That's the
though.
lack of ignorance.
No,
she
it's
needs to
not
change
cutting
her
the
friend.
fade. It's just she just took it to a low, because she said she decided.
Oh, she
She
starting
took the
over.
weave, and she took the weave, and she just went on this spiritual journey. And a lot of times when you go through something, people cut their hair.
They cut
So
and
she
exactly
just- right.
and
I see.
and Dontrella, for you to say that is so amazing to me. How the strongest part of us is our hair, whether it's
Exactly.
short, whether it's long. But when you're going through when you're in spiritual bondage, the first thing that the negative entity and spirits tell you to do is
Cut
get
your
rid
hair.
of your strength, cut your hair. And then when she cut her hair, all the negative energy along with cutting your hair came with it. A friend of associates, "Oh, you're gay now. Oh, you're coming out." It's a touchy situation, and you have to be really ready and strong to go through that, because it's not easy. It's not an easy
And
journey.
honestly, she looked better without all the weave, because you could
Thank
see
you.
her face, her bone structure, and everything. She looks amazing.
And that's what she
without the
needs to
weave.
hear more often.
And
Absolutely.
it kind of made me feel bad for her, though, because as soon as that one individual said you decide to come out, it was like 2 days later I seen that she had a wig on, and I asked, I said, "Why do you have that wig on?" And she couldn't say nothing. She just kind of smiled, and then I said, "Did you put that wig on because people was assuming that you had changed your sexuality, or you came out the closet because you decided to go natural?" And then she was like, "It kind of made me feel a little uncomfortable unpredictable. And
Wow.
so, and she had never seen what is it, Salam Latham, that movie. I can't think of the name.
Oh,
Sanaa,
Nappy Hair.
Nappy Hair. So,
But it's a good movie.
it's an excellent movie. She had not seen it, but I told her, suggested that she watch it. So she did end up looking at it. She came back, and I was like, you know what? You just got to have that fuck 'em attitude. Either they going to accept you or they don't. She's not your, and I basically told her what you just said. I said, she's not your friend. Because if she was your friend, she would know that your hair has nothing to do with your sexuality. Going natural has nothing to do with that. But so many people assume that a woman with natural hair is part of the LGBT community almost 80% of the time. And that is so wrong on so many levels.
I hadn't even really given that thought. Like, maybe women are doing it to look more feminine or whatever. I hadn't really thought about that.
Some women do it for a new beginning. Some women do it to look more feminine. Some women do it because they're lost. But that's where women like us that really care about the community need to step aside and look from the outside looking in and ask that person, how are you? Let's just start with a simple handshake, a hug, and say, how are you doing? What's going on? Because by your friend cutting her hair like that was deep for her. She was in bondage. So it's something deeper than just not wanting to wear weaves that's going on with her, and she needs that healing. Sometimes it's a cry for help, and the wrong person can come along and say something crazy, and that person can hurt themselves. It's a touchy situation.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Okay, I'm going to play my old lady card again and give y'all a parable. But my mama told me this a long time ago. There's you might have heard this maybe in a different way, but there's a woman who is teaching her daughter how to make a pot roast. And she tells her, okay, so you season it, you cut the ends off the pot roast, and you put it in a pan, and you do this, you do that, you cover it up, you put it in the oven. And the daughter says, oh, okay, well, why do we cut the ends off? And she said, I don't know. Let me call my mother and ask her. She calls her mother and she said, Mom, hey, I'm teaching her how to make this pot roast. And I was wondering why do we cut the ends off the pot roast? She said, I don't know. Let me call my mother and ask her. And so she calls the grandmother and she asks her why she cut the ends off the pot roast. And she says, well, baby, that's because I had a short pan.
Right. So
wow.
She was cutting the ends off the pot roast just so it could fit in the pan.
Wow.
Yet that tradition carried on for generations.
Just because.
I think we are doing a lot of things just because that's what women did in the past. We are enlightened women now. We don't have to go for the okie doke. We can decide what is attractive for ourselves and make men or the opposite sex, whoever it is you're trying to attract with your physical aesthetic, make them rise to the occasion of what we put out there. You know what I mean? We don't have to try to fit into some stereotype. Literally, I mean, we're talking about weaves right now, but this goes way deeper. Like, there are women who have stuffed plastic into their chests and asses. Like, there are women who have died for a big ass and all this stuff. Like, we are doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, not to cut you off, because they have a show about that. I can't think of the name of it because I'm looking at it when I'm at work. Well, I'm not supposed to be saying that on the radio. But anyway, we got the TV in the break room. It's a show that comes on, and I think it's called Boob Jobs or something, where these women went and they got boob jobs, but it was wrong. Like, one titty was up here, one titty was down there, the nipple was over here. It was like bad. So this show.
Oh, was it called Botched?
Botched, yeah.
Yeah, I love that show.
Yep, Botched. That's the name of it. And those titties on there look horrible. And they was doing it to look a certain way or to feel a certain way, but it's kind of blurred. But you could see how one is up here, one is down there, nipple. It's crazy. But if y'all get an opportunity, check it out.
And I kind of feel like this. First of all, we got to be careful what we agree to accept from anyone who is in a dominant position over us. And I mean this for humans. Humans need to be careful accepting things from people who are part of a dominant culture. That includes women having to be careful and use personal judgment through your own experiences when deciding to accept these things that these so-called professionals are pushing on us. And that includes all the physical things they're trying to give us, tell us we are not okay in our natural states, like the way God made you is fucking perfect. There is nothing wrong with how we are. Like, this is how we are supposed to be, because this is us. This is us.
And mentioning that, but before I go, Jessica, you just made a good point. When you mentioned God made us the way we are and we're perfect, could you imagine telling God to his face, you didn't make me right?
Ooh, honey.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just go and get these titties. I'm going to go and get this ass. And I'm not knocking any of that, because I have some friends that have it done, and they look phenomenal. And they already was confident before they had it, and they just got even more confidence with it. So not every woman gets it because they're broken. Some women get it because they just want to get it.
Right.
But you're still going to tell your God that you worship and say you love every day, I love God. God bless me. God did this for me. That's my God. But then you go behind his back and go change everything that he did, because we're an image in his eye. So if he made me short with no hair, with a big booty and a big lip, that's because he wanted me to look like that, because he loves me like that. But when you go and change yourself, that same God that supposedly blessed you, you're cursing him.
That's a very deep way to look at it. Oh, my goodness. I hadn't even considered that, but yeah.
So when you really know God and you really love yourself, you're going to look yourself in the mirror with the way you are and love yourself and be so beautiful. I haven't even worn like makeup and a weave in so long, and I'm getting more attention than I was with the weave and the makeup, but because I'm more in love with myself. I didn't had a spiritual journey and crossover in the last couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned how to love myself. And this is coming from a person that's in the industry that is told no, oh, you're too short, or you need to straighten your hair. You would be cute, but you're too, what are you mixed with? Can you talk like this? You should do this. I've been told everything which way but right to make it in the industry. But because I knew God, I didn't totally go far from him. I've had my mistakes. But like you said, you can't say you love the same God that we all love if you're changing what he put together, because we're perfect in his eye.
Yes,
that's a whole nother argument, and some people may be a little touched by what I just said, but the truth is what it is.
Well, it does go to, we said we were going to talk a little bit about spirituality, and that is definitely for Christian women who are listening, or even just religious women who follow any type of religious type of thinking. It is something to consider as well. Now that you bring that up, I said something to Don the other day when we were preparing to have this conversation, that she, is always telling me to be mindful about how I come across to people, because they may have pre-existing ideas or whatever. She's like, you sure you want to talk about weaves? You got all that hair? And I'm like, that's why I got all this hair.
Because you don't have a weave.
Yeah. Absolutely. But while we were talking and preparing for this, it came up. I said, the Bible says you're not supposed to wear braids. And I just dropped it on her like that. And she was like, what? That's not true. She looked it up, and it was right there. Now, I'm not saying that everything in the Bible is meant for contemporary life and all of that. But when she went on to read it, what we discovered is that particular verse talks about what how a woman should present herself. And it's very interesting, because that is a topic today. They try to say, oh, well, this woman got molested or raped because she was dressed this way, or she, looked like this, or went to the wrong place, or did, they try to blame the woman. I'm always in the middle of these conversations. What I mean is I always straddle a certain type of fence on these topics because there are two people in every situation. There are two states of mind when looking at everything. So you can say it is my right to wear this mini skirt. And I will say, yes, but you wore that mini skirt into a convention of horny bikers who just got out of jail. I don't know. You use bad judgment along with that pretty skirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to be mindful of everything. And that's why it's not really just about you. If you plan on living in a certain community and allowing yourself to be affected by what those people think and how those people feel. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So that was Siren, the showstopper. And
thank
what else
you,
was
Siren, for joining us.
licensed massage therapist.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. I am a licensed massage therapist who travels, and I'm located in Atlanta with the lovely ladies I'm on the air with as well. And you can actually Google me or go to my website at www.xicabeefit. She Could Be Fit. It's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, XICABEEFIT. I do, and I can answer questions. I also do online stretch therapy. We could do video chat. I do travel as well, but get more in tune with yourself. Self-love and self-healing is very important, extremely important.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk
Okay,
to you
take
later.
care.
Bye-bye.
All right. I was hoping we could call on me.
You going to try to get me on the phone?
She called me, and I had to hang up.
Oh, you could call her back. We got about maybe 15.
5 minutes?
Maybe 10 more minutes. 10, because it's
10 more
10:18, so we got into 10:30. So you got about 11 minutes. I'm trying not to count time because
Well, you
people
know,
talk
Ami
about
does
me
a
with count
different
time.
type of. I'm just gonna pull her up on speaker real quick. Can I do that?
We could call her from here so the callers, because they won't be able to hear her. If you pull up on there, they're not going to be able to hear her. So you got to call her from this phone.
Okay.
So you could tell me.
Hey, Ami, I'm about to call you from a number you won't recognize. Okay.
678
right.
number. Yeah, call her from this number, because if you don't, they won't be able to hear her.
So,
that
yeah.
iPhone and Android, I need to get a plug for the iPhone. It wasn't trying to work on. I was finna do something, I don't even remember.
I think weren't you gonna say something?
I don't even remember.
Okay, so I'm calling her now. So Ami is one of our she's one of our directors for the Punani Poets, one of the road managers, and she's also massage therapist. Hi, Ami.
Hi.
You're on live
How are
on my
you?
radio show.
I knew you were going to do that to me.
It's my first one.
you always get me on the
Interviews.
spot.
Well, you called when I was on, so I was like, yes, it's perfect.
What-
I was
So what
wondering.
is the show about?
Okay, so we were talking about
Weave addiction.
weave addiction and just self-esteem and the head and how important the head is in sensuality. And since you're a massage therapist, but you have a different experience with massage and different education than Siren does. And I was hoping you could talk a little bit about the type of massage therapy you do, some of your studies, and what you know about the head and why the head should have human contact, you know.
The head of the human body?
Yes.
The top part.
The head of
the
the human
head
body.
of the human body.
Okay, yeah. So the thing about the head is very interesting. In Chinese medicine, there is not only hundreds of thousands of acupressure points on the top of your head, there is one specific point that's actually called 1,000-point meeting. So all the points, all the meridians kind of receive the energy from the heavens through the top of the head through this one point. With the addition of the other points on the head that help with the internal organs as well as the spirit and that sort of thing. So the nice thing about the head is if someone is comfortable with having their head touched, you could probably touch it any kind of way that you wanted to and not go wrong. Right? Until your partner tells you, you know, I don't like that, or, you know, touch it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Our one mutual friend who works on websites,
mm-hmm.
he loves to have his ears pulled and tugged and caressed in various kinds of ways. And the ears actually control or have access to the sphenoid bone that's right behind your eyes. They call it the butterfly bone, but it's the bone that kind of controls dreams
Mm-hmm.
and your lucid imagination is controlled by the ears. So that can kind of maybe give you a understanding of how creatively sensual that part of the body can be, and it can be different parts for different people.
Mm-hmm.
You know the relationship I have with my mother.
Yes.
So I would run away, and I would go to her house, and I would lay on her lap so she could rub my head.
Mm.
So you see how vastly one touch from the head can be from another? But
Yes.
they're all...
Uh-oh. You have us on speaker? You going
So
through
I
a
hope
tunnel?
you-
Oh,
Sorry, I'm driving.
that's okay.
Yeah, she got us on speaker. She going in and out. We can't hear her.
She's not saying nothing right now. Are you
Me.
talking right now?
She said
Am I what?
She said
Oh,
she driving.
she
She
wasn't
on speaker
talking.
because they can't hear her.
Oh, that's okay. So do you think, and I don't really know, you know, I'm not an expert, but I've been with some women before, and I kind of know what it's like to want to make love to a woman and not be able to touch her head. It's kind of weird. But do you think weaves allow enough sensuality of the head? Like when people like live their lives in weaves and don't allow people...
Protect your head. Let me just say this. You protect your head more than you protect your genitals, usually. Right?
Uh-huh. I guess
So
you do.
people will be out there fucking whoever, but, you know, having them touch the head or get even close to their scalp, like, that's even more intimate. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I practice massage, is because it's very appropriately intimate.
Mm.
And, you know, just like I said, people, you know, will sleep with whoever, get their rocks off or whatever. But, you know, to touch my head, you have to be real close to me because of all of those acupressure points and everything on the head. It's just a very sensitive place in the body. And I think that it's the head, you know, that's probably why we used to wear crowns. Just like we wear waist beads now, we adorn our heads with these crowns, and we take care of that part of our body. But as we've gotten more westernized and out of touch of who we are, we no longer, you know, think of our bodies like that.
So
Does that make sense?
if you're having a long-term relationship with someone, a husband, say, and that husband's never seen your hair or never touched your head, do you think that there are any intimacy blocks going on there?
Absolutely. Especially depending on what kind of weave that you have in your head. Your husband can't get close to your head.
Right.
You know, there's a reason that forehead kiss is so intimate. So if your husband or your partner, your mate, get into your brain,
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, especially when we touch somebody in a loving manner, goes through, you know, you're able to push farther. They teach us in certain massage, send your energy a little bit deeper than just where your hand is. And when you lay hands on somebody, the depth of your chi that you push into them and connect with them is also very intimate. Like I do a variety of different styles of body work, but there's just some things that you can't do on some people or they get the wrong idea.
Yeah.
So the head is...
And that's all about the touch. And even though it is appropriate, it's still very intimate, and nobody is taught how to be intimate anymore. So that weave and all those chemicals, some people might use the glue or whatever. Like, it all depends on how you put it in your hair, which would block that intimacy.
Yes.
A lot of mental illness, and just problems women are having because they wearing this glue and leave it in their hair for so long, and it burns their scalp. And then you have all this scar tissue, and anybody know anything about scar tissue, it's really thick skin.
Yes.
So that makes it even harder for you to get in there. Now, if you are wearing a sewing weave, right, then that's not necessarily as aggressive as the chemicals and the glue.
Mm-hmm.
So your husband may be able to, send his energy through that glue, and you can feel it when he touches you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am so glad you called me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
I was going to say, I'm so glad you called me like right on time, just right on time.
Well, you already know the kind of relationship we have. I just wanted you to know
we
that
got
I
synergy.
was coming to your house for a Super Bowl weekend, February 1st through 4th.
And we would love to have you. And while you're here, we are going to have you do all kinds of massage demonstrations and educate these people real quick while you out here. And some amazing, if you went to her office, you would know, like, she is so into massage. She has, I don't know how many certificates.
I have kind of moved to the Midwest, so I will, I'm literally in Milwaukee right now. I think I'll be in New York if you want to put me on the spot again.
I absolutely do. I would love to see you in New York. That's going to be on the 22nd and the 23rd. But whenever you want to come down to Atlanta, we're here. We're all set up.
I'm talking about for Valentine's Day. Aren't you in New York for Valentine's?
Yeah, but you coming to Atlanta on the 16th.
Okay, well, whatever it is, honey, like I said,
yeah.
I'm a few hours away. I'm coming to Atlanta.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see you.
And you needed me to talk to you this evening on your show. So
yeah.
It's all good.
Well, I'm probably going to give you a call when we close the show out. But thank you so much. That is Ami Brown. She is from. Hey, what is your actual website?
It's actually Healing Tribes at Massage Planet. HealingTribes.massageplanet.com.
Okay.
But I'm getting ready to revamp that. My Instagram and my Facebook.
Healing, yeah.
Yeah, so you can give those out if you want to. But yeah, I'll see you soon, and call me whenever so that we can build. And like I said, I was just calling to let you know that I was kind of in your area and would be coming to see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Miss Ami Brown.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
All right, bye. See
Good
you
night.
soon. Good night.
We're going to get ready to wrap this up again. You've been tuned in to interviews with Ghetto Girl Blue. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier.
I'm excited.
And I see y'all. I know y'all saw me playing with my hair because this was messing. But I'm natural. My hair natural. But quickly, I see a lot of people in here. Hey, Mickey, thanks for tuning in. I got some family in here. Somebody wanted to know when you was going to be in Virginia, but I'll let them. They said some other place in Virginia, but Virginia Beach, February. That was February 13th for Virginia.
And Richmond is the 14th.
And Richmond is the 14th. Hey, Jasmine B. Taylor. Thanks for tuning in. And Jolanda on here. I'm trying to see. A Cuzzo, Sandrell. Yeah. I see a lot. I'm trying to go back up. They were talking, and Deborah Shaw just tuned in. Chesterfield. What? Chesterfield, what? Because I'm trying to see on that one. And I'll see you on. Jasmine B. Taylor said, I'll see you on Valentine's Day.
Yay.
Yay.
See y'all on Valentine's. It's going to be fun. We
Yeah,
got Angus Black. I'm bringing Mike Page from New Orleans. He is an incredible rapper and a very, very funny man. And Siren is doing all the choreography and everything for us for the season. So that should really add a lot of spice to the show. We have Forbidden, who's actually from Virginia, has been touring with me for years, coming, and Punani's Pearls. Oh my God, we're going to have a really good time. And I will be able to capture what I can to go live from the show, and then we'll have the full production from at least 3 of the Valentine's performances on our channel at punanitv.com or coffeetv.com. That's COFFY TV.com.
And I appreciate Jackie. I'm sorry, what's that, Jackie? A. Christie. Monica for letting us know when and being patient while I fixed the sound. Earlier, I forgot to plug in something, and the people who tuned in earlier couldn't hear. Who else was that on here saying? Oh, that was Jasmine B. Taylor. So again, appreciate your patience and letting me know that you couldn't hear and giving me the opportunity to bring it up so that you could hear. Again, this has been interviews with, and that's INNER, not enter, interviews. So I had to spell that out so people would know I'm not pronouncing it wrong. INNER. It will be here every Monday night. If you want to be a guest on the show, just let us know. info@hipinc.org. If you got something you want to discuss with Ghetto Girl Blue. And next week we're going to really do a 2-part. On my show on Sunday, we're talking about the Bible.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna kick it off on Sunday night. Just talking about things like what Jessica was just speaking of, or Ghetto Girl Blue. Sorry, Ghetto Girl Blue. Her host name, her radio personality. We're gonna kick it off on Sunday night on the ladies' room. And in the ladies' room, we're kicking it off talking about, I don't have the book down here, but I have a gay Bible. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to also, again, touch bases and review on there what we was talking about earlier in there, the verse where it's talking about women shouldn't braid their hair because they're trying to call attention to themselves. And then Monday night, we'll continue to pick back up because Ghetto Girl Blue, Bible Talk with Ghetto Girl Blue is another show we're going to kick off, but that's good. Her parables and the way she explained the Bible is hilarious. But she puts it in terms where people is going to listen because it sounds like some good-ass gossip. Like, girl, let me tell you, such and such and such and such and such a. Do you have a sample you want to get them before we?
No.
Come on. Let's give them a little sample so they'll tune back in. What story you want to tell right quick? What's my favorite?
Tell a Bible story real quick.
Tell a quick little Bible story because I want them to make sure that they tune back in next week. But yeah, tell them. I'm gonna let before we get out of here quickly. Because the show is supposed to end in an hour when we've been on here for 59 minutes. But go on. Tell them a story right quick.
Well, I have the perfect story because we're talking about women. And let's just take it all the way to the beginning when God made woman. So Adam was lonely and he made a woman to keep Adam company. Now, God had laid down the law for Adam and told him what he could eat, what he couldn't eat. And then he got this woman, and then she talks to the snake. This is how the story goes, you know. She talks to the snake, and she says, well, we can't eat from that tree because God said if we do, we will surely die. And Eve was like, still looking at it, you know. And so he could tell that she wanted it. And so he tells her, well, God knows you will not surely die. He knows that if you eat from that tree, and it wasn't an apple tree, it was a tree of knowledge of good and evil. And he said, if you eat from that tree, then God knows your eyes will be open and you will be like a God. And so she didn't just eat herself, she also convinced Adam to eat. And so when God found out that they had done this, it wasn't hard to figure it out because they naked behind the leaves, hide behind the leaves, trying to cover themselves up. And God is like, what you doing? And they're like, oh, we don't want you to see that we naked. And he like, fool, how you know you naked? And automatically he knew they had eaten from the tree. And the Lord said to Adam, he like, what you doing? I told you not to eat from the tree. And he said, that woman you done gave me made me do it. And still to this day, men blame women for their demise. See, they laid that foundation a long time ago. And they let you know, the very, very first story, they let you know that men are powerless against the powers of the pussy. Because Adam knew that if he did not eat from that tree, take that fruit out of her hand and bite that fruit, he would surely not get no pussy.
Yeah, so make sure y'all tune in next Sunday night. I'll be live 7 p.m. And on Monday night, we'll be back with interviews again with Ghetto Girl Blue. But again, I
think we'll talk about Sodom and Gomorrah next week.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We really appreciate everybody that tuned in with us tonight. We really do. But our time is up. Powerless. Yes. Yes, Keisha, powerless. LOL. I can't. Who is this? Hey, Mickey. She said, LOL, I can't wait. You know I love these stories. Yes. On my calendar, that's Keisha Slay. We really appreciate you ladies and again for tuning in tonight. But our time is now up, so we're going to go ahead on and tune out. Everybody have a blessed night. Get some rest so you all could get up and hit them JOBs in the morning. All righty? We're out of here. So, where is my...
You didn't end it yet. Huh? Bye, guys.
What'd you say?
You didn't end it yet.
I didn't end it yet.
You gotta hit end right there.
Yeah, I know.
You're tuned into Les Elegance Radio. The number one LGBTQ radio station online with Les Entourage.
Oops. Did I still ain't end it? I tried to end it. See, that's why I don't like to go live. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now I ended it.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
That was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why you should write down all the things that you do so we could just have a checklist. Boom, boom.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it. Right, I started writing it down at work, but then we got busy. But I'm gonna have to get it to where we are able, because I'm gonna promote. I'm gonna promote the show, because I got to remember how